in an effort to avert a diplomatic fallout between Pretoria and Kigali. South Africa has stressed that President Cyril Ramaphosa's telephonic calls with his Rwandan counterpart, President Paul Kagame, were aimed at ensuring that the Eastern DRC achieves peace.
The context of the president's call was cessation of hostilities and fire. And there could be things that falls through the cracks. But the call itself, the reason the president called President Kagame was to engage him, to see reason. And they even agreed on the cessation of fire in the call.
Kigali has expressed its displeasure when it saw reports from South Africa.
Actually, those phone calls were cordial, and they discussed substantive issues without blame game or any accusation. In the first call, they discussed mainly about the solution to this crisis, and they agreed to have a broad ceasefire in the region and then direct talks between M23 and the Congolese government. And then yesterday they had a second phone call, which was also cordial, during which they talk about the situation on the ground. And President Ramaphosa revealed that the SANDF soldiers were actually killed by the Congolese army.
Lamola has responded to one of the issues that caused a tiff between the two capitals.
What I'm saying is that it could have been handled differently. It is always characterized as the Rwandan Defense Force. And even in terms of the expert reports of the UN that I'm referring to, there is enough literature to the effect that the Rwandan Defense Force does support the M23.
The Democratic Republic of Congo says it's working with a number of parties to normalize the situation in Goma.
In Goma, no one is in a good situation. And that's why we are working with international community to find a solution more quickly, because Rwandan army is committing massacre in the city. But what I've heard for the past days, we know that there is South African soldier inside, some years inside. We should thank them because they've been there, they've been very helpful in order to protect populations.
The World Food Programme is concerned about the lack of access for aid to reach Goma and surrounding camps for the internally displaced people, saying that people are running out of essentials. Meanwhile, the M23 group say they are fighting for their own survival in the Congo.
M23 did not attack South Africans. M23 is fighting for its own survival. South African came. I believe you have in your constitution that the South African soldiers could only engage in aggressive war if they were protecting their borders. I don't think it is that case right now. We are in Congo trying to survive, to fight a war that can bring our parents back home that has been in a refugee camp for 30 years.
Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.